Hi everyone and welcome to Autism Awareness Monday. I am here in the mall with India. Hi
Hi.
India.
Hi.
What do you know about autism?
Um, so I honestly did not know a lot about it until probably this year, when I went to my therapist and was like, "Hey, something's a little off with me. Like, I know life is hard, but this is
Yeah.
a little rougher than I expected." And he was like, "Maybe you need to look into maybe you're like on the spectrum."
Yeah.
And I was like, "There's a very judgmental look on autism and like how it affects people, and there's a very stereotypical way of looking,
Yeah.
what people think about." And he was like, "Maybe you're just high functioning."
Yeah.
And I was like, "Okay," and I got it checked out, and they were like, "Yep, yes, you are on the spectrum. You're on the lower end, but things are a little more. You process things differently."
Yeah.
Um, and just learning about how to live life again
Yeah.
is honestly, it's difficult, but it's fun to be able to be like, I now know how to take care of myself.
Yeah.
And I know how to make my life a little bit easier in ways that normal people can just,
Do it.
just
Yeah.
do it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sometimes you can't just do it. So,
Yeah.
yeah, it's an
What got
experience.
you or got your doctor to think that you are on the spectrum?
Um, I process sounds and um, touch very differently. Certain things like the way my clothes make me feel
Yeah.
will set me off, and then I'll start like spiraling in my head, like I'm uncomfortable, and trying to get myself like refocused
Yeah.
back onto anything is kind of difficult. And I expressed that to him, and he was like, maybe you need to look into that, and that kind of led me down the rabbit hole.
Yeah.
And it's very interesting,
Yeah.
I guess, trying to explain to people like I'm just like you. It's just certain things
Are different.
are different. I process sounds,
Sensory.
sensory, a lot different than the normal human being, and realizing that that's okay.
And it took you too long? Like you
Long
just
time.
found out like
Yes,
a year, right?
yeah.
So
Yeah.
prior to that, what 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 did you think, or how did you like function with everything around you?
Um,
Because my son is autistic,
yeah,
and just learning with him for the past 3.5 years,
yeah.
it's been hard.
It's been an emotional roller coaster
Yeah.
because it's like you really feel like you're an outcast, like
Yeah.
you're an outsider.
Yeah.
It's like, why are certain things so hard for me? Why is socializing so difficult for me?
Yeah.
Why don't I just get along with people?
Yeah.
And it's a difficult thing to process now that I'm an adult, and I'm like, not just like, oh, I'll just pretend
Yeah.
that everything's fine,
Yeah.
and I'm getting along with the other kids, and you go home at the end of the day and you're exhausted. And you're
Yeah.
like, why is that so tiring? It's because it's trying to figure out how to be you
Yeah.
with no guidance.
Yeah.
And I don't know, it was difficult, but my family is the only thing. Like, no matter how weird something seemed, no matter how different I was, they were just like, you're you, and that's enough.
Yeah.
You know,
So
the
they're
love
being
and
supportive. The support
support is the
was
main
there
thing. Yeah, yeah.
throughout your life.
Yes.
Okay.
No matter, even even when we didn't know, it's the main thing is support.
Yeah.
Just having people around you that love you enough to be like, you're a little different in this area,
Yeah.
but that's okay.
Yeah.
We're gonna work around it and figure out how to make you as comfortable as you can be.
Yeah.
So yeah, my family,
Your
my
family.
mom,
And
yeah.
how old are you, if you don't mind me
Oh, I'm
asking?
21. Yes.
21.
Yeah.
So for almost 20 years of your life, you lived and you didn't know
Yeah.
what's going on. You had to pretend, and that's in itself is exhausting.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
now you have relief. So how did you feel when you got diagnosed?
I was like, I don't think you're right.
Yeah.
Yeah, it
What
was
is
a bit of
autism?
denial
Yeah.
because my
Yeah.
nephew is he's nonverbal,
Yes.
and he is the sweetest, most intelligent person you will ever meet in your entire life.
Yeah.
But it is difficult for normal people to understand, like, why doesn't he talk? Why doesn't he, like, and he's 6.
Yeah.
And he's finally starting to talk now, but it's like certain things are really difficult.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think I don't know.
So that's giving you different perspective on how to deal with your nephew now.
He inspired me.
He inspires you.
He inspires me every day because he still goes out and plays with kids. He doesn't see himself as any different. He gets along. People love him.
Yeah.
And even though he doesn't say anything, that doesn't mean he doesn't touch people's hearts.
Yes.
He's still human.
Yes.
At the end of the day, we have our quirks, but at the end of the day, we're just like everyone else.
Yeah. We are all different.
Yes.
When we deal with things differently. So what is the hardest challenge for you, you'll say? It doesn't have to be one.
No, yeah.
It could be more.
The hardest challenge, I think, would be adapting.
Yeah.
Because sometimes there are even things that spring up and it's like, well, I thought I knew this about me and how I reacted to this.
Yeah.
And it's like sometimes things just don't make sense.
Yeah.
Sometimes things are just irrational, and that's how life is.
Yeah.
And trying to go with the flow is something very difficult, especially for someone who's on the spectrum. Because I like schedule, I like routine. And when things just go by the wayside, I'm like, how do I deal with this?
Yeah.
But thankfully there are techniques that can help me calm down and process things one thing at a time. Mm-hmm. And I have people that care about me that will check in and be like, I know this was kind of rough for you. Are you okay? Is there anything I can do?
Yeah.
And I think that's the best thing that anyone can do. So
oh my gosh.
Why I try to be so open and honest with the people around me and be like, hey, if you need anything, like it's not just because you have a mental illness or anything. Just everyday normal people should be asking, like, are you okay? It's the simplest thing to do that can help so many people.
That's what I just said, and that's what we tell people to do. Simply ask someone if they are okay and see what you can do to help them. Yeah. But you are an amazing, beautiful young lady.
Thank you.
And
thank you.
Honestly, you are bringing hope, your positivity, your smile. It's like really giving me hope. And seeing you, I don't know if you heard that before from someone, but as a mother of a son with autism, you are giving me hope that one day he will be as beautiful as you are and he can make an impact in the world. And you are truly making a difference.
Thank you.
You are.
A lot.
It might not feel like it, but you are.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Not a lot of people come out and speak and try to help. So you're using your voice.
Yeah, it's all, for me, I'm a believer. So it's all the Most High. Like that's all I can say. Even when I feel like I am surrounded by just insanity, it's like that's the only piece that I can go to. He's the piece of all pieces. So I'm just grateful that I have him to lean on, because even when my anxiety and depression are just running rampant and I feel like I should just like pretend once again to be normal and like everything's fine. I'm like, he made me a certain way.
Your brother or God? Or
God.
The God,
yes.
Almighty. Yes,
the Mighty, yes.
He made you special.
Yes. He made me
different abilities.
This way for a reason. And I love myself no matter what, because he loves me for who I am. So that's the
And we love you for who you are too. I just met you, but I can truly say I love you for who you are. And if you touched my heart in a few minutes that we got to talk to each other, I'm sure you are going to touch many hearts.
Thank you.
Out there. But if there's one thing that you want everyone to do to help special needs, someone with autism, or anyone out there,
I think the main thing that we all need to exercise is a bit of understanding and patience. I know it's one of the hardest things to ask, but you never understand what somebody's going through. We all put on masks as soon as we step out the door.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people are afraid of hiding who they are. And we've made a society